Special thanks to all the researchers that helped to collaborate on this project. In our last podcast, we asked the question, did William Branham change his identity to avoid prosecution? After an exhaustive review of the newspapers and government documents, it has been concluded that there were several changes made to the Branham family, not just William, to conceal William Branham's true identity and assist in his evading prosecution with his father, Charles. William Branham made several changes to key elements of his identity throughout his life, the earliest of which appears to have been at age 16 during a criminal investigation into the Jeffersonville booze ring. Some of the changes were significant, such as his middle name and his age, and until his face was pictured in the newspapers, even his first name. His father, Charles Branham, was arrested for producing alcohol and was eventually sent to the state prison for the crime. At the time, William Branham was 16, and he could have legally been prosecuted as an adult for the crime. Branham's birth year, according to all records yet identified and up to his age 16, was 1907. And on one particular recording, Branham affirms this birth year by linking his birth year to the death of Illinois cult leader John Alexander Dowie. According to the 1910 census, William Branham was 3 years old in April and 12 years old in January in the 1920 census, both of which confirm his 1907 birth year. In March of 1924, during the time that Charles had been arrested and was serving time in jail, William Branham had been shot. The newspapers list William Branham's age as 16, which also confirmed the 1907 birth year. By the 1930 census, William Branham had changed his birth year to 1909 and began touring as a faith healer using the names of his brothers. You can learn this and more on william-branham.org.
I remember I used to look at them old chinked mud in the cracks like that. I'd say, my, that house will stand forever. Why, it can't go down. What a wonderful place it is. But my, you should see it now. See? Here we have no continuing city. And around in front of the door was a place wore off or just bare and slick, where a wee little bunch of Branhams played out there like a bunch of little possums or something. Around there, little bitty fellows waddling around over one another. Say, I'd like to live that over again. I really would. I say, I remember the old spring where you used to go down there and lay down on my stomach and drink, come back up, go out and take Dad a jug of water out of the spring, back out to the field where he was in harvest or something. Worked so hard till I seen my mama cut his shirt loose from his back from sunburn, or stick to his back, 75 cents a day to take care of me. Look, it's true. You've read my life story out there. My dad did drink, but I don't care what he done, he's still my daddy. And let me tell you something, young folks, this afternoon. Don't you never get little enough to call your mother and dad the old man and woman. You don't never do that. No matter what they are, you respect them as your dad and mother. You'll never know how you love them till you hear the cat squeaking of a casket going out and knowing that's the last of it. It won't be the old man and old woman then. A lot of times they're right when you think they're wrong. Always honor thy father and mother, which may lengthen the days upon the earth. The Lord thy God giveth thee. That's the first commandment with promise. Be kind to your mother and dad. I remember my daddy died. He's just beginning to gray a little bit at the temple. When he lay there in the casket, and I picked up his head, which had died right on my arm. And I picked up his head, and his locks of hair fall down. I thought, oh, Dad, I looked at his hand. He'd had his finger cut off there in a shredder one day. I thought of all the heartaches that I'd caused him. It wasn't the old man. That was my daddy. I don't care who else, what they thought about him. He was still my dad. I loved him, and I love him today. I had the privilege of leading him to Christ. Now, And my mother also. My mother's a living. She's supposed to arrive here this afternoon. And I trust that she will get here. Now, back in those days, I remember some of the little things just for details. I remember one thing that's outstood in them days was every Saturday night go to town to get the groceries. Did you ever have to do that? Going on Saturday night and get the food for the week? We lived in the country, and a few days ago I was talking to my wife. Everyone knows my life story, how my father drank and everything. And it's not, don't like to reflect that. It's my family, but it's the truth. You know, we have to be truthful about things. And I remember when I was a young man, I'd go downtown, my little city, and it was well known around the country there about what taking place. Someone would be talking to me, just because someone else would come up, I'd be taken away. No one looked like it's kind of down. And I said to the wife the other day, she's setting present now, I said, honey, think of it. Here it is, I have to go to the